However, I got air conditioning. So you're looking at this wall. Okay. Yeah, this is the wall I'm going to do. It's in the shade now. Flubber Lane, how you doing? I just got off one live stream and on to another. I'm inside now, and I'm about to do an install to this wall right here. I'm also going to show you some of the walls that came down and they're going back up again. I'm good. I'm hot, but I'm good. A lot of stuff going on in front of me here. This is my garage area within the van. Looks hot. Yeah, well, I'm underneath an air conditioner right now inside the van. It's slowly cooling off. It's on full blast right now. Move back to auto, 1 second. There's a remote control that comes with this. Let's go boost mode. Oh, it is on boost. This is as loud as it will ever be. Is it too loud? Can you guys hear it? Desert Runner, how you doing? The AC is on full blast. This is the RTX 2000 12 volt air conditioner for mobile rigs, like this van, like semi-trucks, you name it. Whatever needs air conditioning in a small cabin, this is perfect. I had it on last night on low at 80 degrees. That's what it's at right now. It's set at 80 degrees. I actually had to turn it off. I got a little cold. So, you know, just the air blowing on you is... The sound is very reasonable for full blast, and you have full control over the fan. Okay, just took it down to the lowest fan setting. It takes a second or two for it to come down. You can hear it ramping down. That's normal. This is the lowest fan setting at 80 degrees. Not bad. You can hear the compressor hum a little bit. That will turn off as well. And outside, it's even quieter. Yeah, I can sleep to this, no problem. This is about what I have it set at night. Low fan setting at 80 degrees, and it's perfect. Yeah, I mean, you guys can hear me fairly easy, hopefully, and I'm sitting directly underneath it. Right there. And that's my Thinsulate up there. I must have turned this zoom on this front-facing camera is terrible, but you can see the there's a timer, temperature up and down, fan up and down, and this is auto, eco, and boost. Eco conserves the most energy based on your thermostat setting. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. However, it is a bit cold. I need more air movement. I went to 3 out of 5. Here it ramp up. And then the air conditioner will turn on and off as needed as it goes along. However, I'm going to show you, well, before I start the install of the insulation on this wall, I wanted to show you my current layout. Desert Runner might get something out of this, maybe, I don't know. This is the... Sorry about that, I just got knocked off, but I'm moving the camera around too much, I think. Too much info. But there's the battery bank with straps holding it down. 2000 watt sine wave inverter, MPPT controller. There's my battery to battery charger. Not all of it's set up yet. My fuse box is sitting on the ground down here. I only have the fridge hooked up to it right now, but that'll eventually be mounted, I believe, right here. I have an emergency on-off switch going in here. I've got some bus bars and all my connectors to make, wire connecting connectors to make. Yeah, that's about the setup. You can see how flush this air conditioner is. Not so much, it drops down quite a bit. Maybe 2 inches below the normal ceiling height from the outside. Emergency comms, what does that mean? Communication? Put this back down and not lose you guys. So that's the quick setup. The MPPT controller, is this side? Yeah. Again, is programmable. It's set up as a 600 amp hour battery setup that it's charging. It's a dual pool disconnect. Communication, emergency communication. That is something I have not thought about, to be honest with you. My father's a ham radio operator for, I don't know, my whole entire life, so. And he's still active as a ham radio operator up in the Bay Area. But no, I haven't thought about that. That's a good thing. Cell phones can only go so far, and then you need to use some type of emergency communication device, like a satellite phone or a Garmin device. But no, I haven't thought about that. Vintage 379, thank you. CB ham. CB radio might be good. I'll have to give that some thought. Good suggestion, thank you very much. It's a safety advice, people. You did 520XL, okay. I'm going to give this some thought. But moving on, Thinsulate. Here I go. I'm sitting on it right now. It's a big roll of it. Bought a hunkin' roll of this stuff, as you can see. Stuff's pretty interesting. I got a smaller sheet here. It's left over from the first roll. I think we budgeted about $600-700 for insulation, and that's exactly what I spent. It's about $600 for Thinsulate. It's very thin, as you can see. It has it's almost like batting on the inside. Interesting stuff. It does not burn. It's not cotton. It melts. Very interesting. And this is like a. This doesn't burn either, the outside. It's more like what's holding it all together. Interesting stuff. But it takes the sprayed adhesive, the 3M spray, I think it's 90, it's what everyone's recommending to use. That's perfect for this. Oh man, don't get ham radio operators talking about ham radios. Amateur radio. It's great for emergencies, though. It's absolutely amazing what ham radio operators can do. Oh yeah, I know all about licensing a ham radio operator and all that crap, and yeah, it's definitely on the table, but I'm not the owner of the van. but I'm going to definitely suggest something to her and let her go from there. She might decide on a satellite phone, emergency satellite phone, which I recommend because she goes on hikes into remote areas as well, and it would be good for her to have something like that. She likes Joshua Tree of all places. Okay, so what I have to do right now is take some measurements real quick with height, and that also takes into account the depth of this piece here. It's actually, I don't know, 2-3 inches. That's the cavity in which dead air is going to be in between this wall that goes all the way up and this wall here. There's a space by about that much that needs to be dealt with somehow. Not quite sure I'm going to do that yet, but I want to break this up into a section like so. Put put 4 boxes up here basically, so that you just got that small circulation, not the big circulation to transfer heat. You want to keep this air as still as possible, but I don't want to fill this all the way up with Thinsulate. That would cost too much money. So maybe Thinsulate on the outside, some regular foam on the inside, and then Thinsulate again on the back side of the black wall that you see down here. This is that plastic wall I was telling you guys about. It's corrugated plastic basically. That's this particular one is done in corrugate style, although these are all little honeycombs all through here. It's not your regular corrugate like cardboard would be. It's honeycombs, little cells everywhere. So by putting Thinsulate on the back side of this so that it covers up these high areas where the clips go into, these little holes, I'm putting riv nuts in there, and that will help me squish the panel with Thinsulate on the back side to this flush panel here. If that makes any sense, I'm proud of myself. If not, then don't feel lost. I'm just as lost as you guys are. No, I'm kidding. It's pretty simple. It's like a sandwich. A Thinsulate sandwich. And Desert Deb also wants to have more decorative appeal to it, not just black. It looks like Darth Vader's hangout in here. It's all black everywhere. But she's going to add her touch to it from this point on, really. Once I get the Thinsulate and everything up, we're going to start decorating the inside, laying it out a little bit better for living space. Man, I love this place. It's getting cooler in here. I absolutely love this air conditioner. Okay, so let's get started. I have to measure it out real quick. You would think I had this done by now, but I have not. Okay, the flat piece is going to be 60 inches, 61 inches, plus the width is 4 inches on the side. So I'm going to do that with 65 inches, so 61 plus 4 is 65 inches, is that right? Did I measure that right? .61 inches. Gotta make sure I'm reading this right. And only 62 plus 4. 66 inches wide. We'll do the same 4 inches here. I'm gonna go down to here. One second. I need a pen. Write all this down. There we go. Okay. .62 plus 4, 66 inches wide by 34 tall. 33 tall, 34 tall. I made a mistake, so that's 34. plus 8, not 4. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 42 by, I said 61, right? 61 inches plus 8. 4 on each side. Oops. 61 plus 8, that's 69 by 42. This is number 2. Okay, 69 by 42. 34 plus 8. Set. Double check my math. We're good. Okay, so I need to calculate this out. There's 2 different ways to cut this wall. I've been thinking about it. You can have it with a seam or without a seam. What I mean by that is this roll, if I lay it on its side, I can get one piece out of this entire wall. You're not seeing the whole thing, are you? The entire wall can be covered in one huge piece, right? But if I cut it about halfway, I can use 2 pieces in here and save material. That's what I did along the top. I maximized what I was getting out of the sheet. But if you don't want a seam, which you'll never see, you'll have to waste some material. So I'm going to do 2 pieces, since you won't see it, to try and save material so that I can use it on the back side of these boards. So I'm going to insulate the walls first, everywhere. If I have anything left over, I'll put it on the back side of the walls. I should have enough. There. I'm currently at 61 inches wide. So as you can see, that would not fit. So I definitely have to do 2 pieces. So my first piece math is going to be a little different. So let's say, what was it, 61 inches, that's 30.5 plus 4. 30.5. 35.5 inches wide. It's a half sheet. How tall does it need to be? Alright, well, I know this is right, so let's start cutting. 35.5, which gives me my 4-inch overhang. So that's here. 5.5 from the edge. And I need to be, how tall was that? The height doesn't change, the width changes. That's 69. That's what I cut in half. 42. Tall. Cramp space in here, 42 in length. Come on now. I'm cutting little pieces out so I know how far to go on the edges. Okay, there we go. So 34 inches is right there. So cut it out. Can't see what I'm doing. Now my coffee cup's in the way. Kind of hard to do this. Okay, so I'm just simply cutting it out. I'm using the roll edge as my straight edge. And just cutting all the way down. Missed it. Punched it up. Great. There you go. Okay. First piece is cut. See, it doesn't quite fit. So what I'm doing is doing this two pieces. So it goes flush with the wall on the top, and I'll trim the excess off. So. The 3M 90 is what I'm using. I'm almost out. It's high strength. So I might only get this one wall done before I have to buy more of this stuff. Okay, let's cut the overall length. Alrighty. This is the edge here. So it's about here. Perfect. That should do it. That's just to hang it. right to the edge. Secure it in. It's that easy, guys. It's just cut and repeat kind of thing. I'm out. So I have a couple pieces to cut. One is this corner, cut that tip off. Not much, a little bit of waste, but for the most part, I got a little bit of fat down here that I need to trim off, but it looks pretty good. By the way, here's my waste from the previous roll. This is all the waste I've had on my previous roll, which is the same size as this. But I'm keeping it to use it as batting where there's big cavities to put it in. Yeah, it immediately got quieter. There's less echo in the van because of this. That's how you do it. Minimal waste, tons of insulation. Love it. Now these plastic walls go right up to the edge here, and this is where I'm going to be putting on the back side of the wall more insulation. So it's going to be doubled up here, so I'm going to get double the R rating, hopefully, out of these walls, which get nailed with sun out here in the desert. I'm going to trim this right now. You guys can't see this, but there's a little fat at the bottom here I'm going to trim off. A little bit of fat. Here's fine, up here's fine. It's just one corner that needs a rounded off corner. I don't mind it bunching here, so just more insulation basically. I'm just trying to keep the excess from going on to these parts where I'm going to be putting the wall up against, because again, there's going to be insulation hopefully at the end of this. That's how you do it. This will stay up here, believe it or not. It's actually hard to get off once you get it all up there and it's tacked up. I mean, the ceiling's done this way and it hasn't fallen down yet, so it gives you an idea. This is awesome. I love this stuff. It's really easy to work with. It's not so difficult to cut. It's just that when you do this all day long, I did this for like 6 hours for the ceiling, and it gets to you. It really does. It's a pain in the ass after a while. Okay, so I got another piece to put on over here, this area here, and I can use, I believe, the part that I just cut off, basically. Let me show you. I'll come close. But I'll just reuse this here. Then I just have a little strip on the sides, right up here, that I would need a smaller piece for. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that on the next pass. When I do another wall, I'll have more of these pieces. So I'll be able to reuse that in slots like this. And there's my seam, where a little bit of heat can sneak through, but I'll probably just tape it shut. Yeah, this is out. This is it. This is all she wrote. Directly right onto the metal up there. Oops, just touched the adhesive. I'm going to go to this top seam, right where that meets, all the way across the top. That's my first line of attack. So, and I just press it in. It's not even shaking anymore. There's literally nothing left in here. It's sputtering. It's out. What do you gotta give it to me? It's out. Well, at least I got this done. You got to see how it's done. So, and it's just fiddling around with it. All the way to the bottom here. So I would say if you're going to do an inside of a van, 2 of these cans are probably what you need. A third wouldn't hurt. High strength 90 by 3M. Good stuff. Well, I thought I'd be doing this all day long, but my adhesive ran out. Have to run to Home Depot. Wow, it got significantly less echoey in here. Shave that off. It's my fat. But I do have places for this stuff to go. For a piece like this, the inside of this beam right here is insulated on the inside. The only part that's not is pretty much where it stops right here over, which is about this size. So in she goes. I need one more piece. This stuff in here is not glued up. Getting crowded in there, that's a good thing. There we go. Hidden away. And time for a break. How you guys doing? Was that what you thought it would be like? I mean, whoa, there's a lot of, hey guys, I'm sorry, I did not see these things zipping by. Hello everyone. Shay Cashers is back. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hi Zeb. Is that Leia? Hello. So that's how I do this. You just measure 3 times and cut and install. I got one more strip to go, but I need more adhesive. And what I was talking about here, that one more strip, is the depth of which this comes out into the van. There's a gap there, so I need to put a strip of material down for that. I'm trying to move as slowly as possible. Easy to work with. It doesn't put a lot of dust in the air. It doesn't have little small particles floating around. It's almost like cotton, but it doesn't act like cotton, like flying around, you know, the particles. It's like batting that you would see in a seat. It's really interesting, but I love it. Very expensive, very, but lightweight and thin. And that's exactly the need for this application, is exactly that. I will tape this closed with a cloth tape before I seal it all up. I'm a great teacher. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. I often wonder if I should have been a teacher. I really like showing people things. So yeah. Mr. Magoo. Basically, you cut the shape you want and include any kind of 3D piece. Like I got a ledge here that comes out about 4 inches on the top and bottom. That's a total of 8 inches. I measured my flat area, which was, I believe, 61 inches, plus my 8. 69 inches total is what I cut. You can see I came very close. I came within about 1 inch of being exactly on. But I'd rather be over and trimmed to exactly the size I need, because there are a couple spots up here where I wish I had done that. Like right up here, you notice how, excuse me, how this piece here is short. It doesn't come down as much as, say, I can't point my hand in the right direction. The one right next to it, this one here. See how it overhangs more than, say, the one next to it? This one? I wish I had cut it longer, but this is the first panel I put up on the ceiling. Better to use more than less. You can always trim it off. You can't, it's difficult to add a small little strip in, but. One other thing I'm doing to this van for insulation purposes, more for moisture protection. These big openings, like you see this big D, that's an opening up there. That will get covered up with clear tape, as well as all the other holes. Like this one's not going to be used, that one's not going to be used, and several others won't be used. I'll be taping those shut. And that's to keep moisture from penetrating into the panels themselves and into this stuff. This stuff doesn't mold. I don't know what the term is. Is antimicrobial? Is that correct? But it doesn't attract moths, insects. They don't like to nest in it. Yeah, it's all around perfect for van use, and that's why it was selected even though the price was high. So insulation we spent a lot of money on, and the batteries. That's where we spent a lot of attention and whatnot. For obvious reasons. We're in the middle of the desert. It's 108 degrees today. And I'm not in shade. The only shade I'm in is what the van's providing. Yeah. And I have the front curtains open, so it's letting the hot air in from the front cabin. That's for light back here. No lights are on back here. I'm just using the reflective light. I miss you guys. I wish you guys were here. What is the R value? Shoot, you know, I forgot the R value, but you could look it up real quick. It's Thinsulate. I think it's the title of the video. Thinsulate, 3M Thinsulate R factor, and you will find it. It's not the best, but it's okay. Is the air on? Yes, it is. It's not on full blast though. I'm about to do that because you can't keep up with this heat. Because the side of the van I need to do is the side that's behind us here. That's what's facing the sun right now. There, that's full blast. Get me cool quick to 80 degrees. And it goes clear down to what, 69 or 68? 68 degrees, 66 degrees is as low as, oh, 62 is as low as it goes. Full blast. I can feel it, it's nice. Ooh. That's the 12 volt air conditioner, Mr. Magoo, by Dometic. RTX 2000. Oh, that's nice. And just the touch, it's warm, but it's not like the metal underneath. Metal is hot. This is 10 minutes after the dryer's done, kind of warm, you know? I can't wait till this whole thing is done with this stuff. So one wall down, I got another big one to go, then I got the small bits. I think I have plenty to do with just 2 rolls of this stuff. It's about $600 total in Thinsulate. And this is the Ford Transit 250, 147-inch wheelbase, or whatever the standard wheelbase is. That's what this is. It's not the extended, it's the standard. I get a kick out of doing this stuff. And once these walls are back up over it, with Thinsulate on the back side of this, you can see what I mean. There's going to be double the R value because I'll have Thinsulate on the back of these walls as well as on the exterior walls. It should be pretty kick-ass. And I need a little more tacky. You can see it's can't pull it off. It's really on there. Very happy with that. So these 2 walls, identical, and then I have these walls up here on both sides. I have a sliding door on the opposite side of this, but this one is a big wall as well, behind the driver's seat. But I'm doing a panel at a time, and then I'm putting the walls back up as I get finished with one. I move on to the next, take one off, put it up. Both panels left and right in the rear are off to do this work. Can't do anything on this wall with wood on it until I get all the wiring and where everything is going to go completed. Once that's completed, I will then insulate behind that wall. That wall will also have the piece of plastic behind it with insulation on the opposite side of it, just like I'm doing the walls, but miniature. And this wall will have an extra insulation because of the wood. But this is the garage area. The bed will live on top of this plane that you see here, this piece of wood. That's where the bed bottom will be, going across left or right. That's the height of the bed. Underneath the bed, of course, is the garage with all the batteries and electronics, whatnot. And there's plenty of room right here to put, 2 stacked totes. I'm already thinking about where to store things. But that's it, guys. I wanted to show you that. It's really easy to do. R6, it's not too bad for what it is and the qualities that it possesses. R6 is fine. Wow, I really like the way it sounds in here. It's like a studio now. It doesn't have any echo except coming from this one wall. If you're not into YouTube doing your own videos, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But it's a dead sound in here. No echo. Looking nice. Love it. And I got a shit ton of this left. I only used maybe 2 coils, and that's it. So I'll have just enough to finish what I need. I might have to buy smaller pieces for the inside wall. I'm having a blast doing this. I absolutely love putting stuff together. This is just a big, huge kit that's customizable, and I'm used to working on cars, track cars, race cars, you name it. That's what I used to do. So me jumping into doing this is not a big deal to me. Cutting holes, not a big deal. Done it many times. Can you tell I'm having a blast? I did want to show you guys this. That bus bar I was telling you about. I created a bus bar. Well, I didn't create this, but this is where my power goes into from the batteries. It just hooks into one of these eyelets. And then I'll have fuses going across, and I'm going to drill a hole in this one and leave this and put another fuse there. So I'll have 3 total fuses. One for the air conditioner, one for the solar MPPT controller, and then another one for the inverter. So the inverter gets one as well. So there's 3 total fuses that tie into this, and then one is for the from the battery. So it worked out very nicely with 3 of them. Make an interior of an opera house. Doesn't an opera house have echo to it though? I mean, this is dead. This is like a sound room. I thought this was a great little nifty idea I came up with. I don't know if it's been done before, but there's nothing wrong with doing this. This has a cover that goes over it, very much like this here. It's clear. I'll just drill little notches in each one of these entry points. Do I have that? I don't have it handy. It's in the, no, here. This is how it's supposed to look, right? You have a wire coming on this side, and then this side, and you have one fuse. Well, this I'll just have to do the same thing, but just cut little hoops into each outlet. Like so. This is where I'd have to cut that little notch right there, as well as the other 2. Or I just cut this whole side open. So this is my positive bus bar. This will eventually live on this wall. This is an access hole. You can barely see the corner of it. There's a big square right here, which wires can go in and out of from behind this wall. And the cabling that I'm putting through this wall are power cables coming in from the inverter, and a couple other, I think the air conditioner is going to be running through here too. So it's going to link up to this, and then the actual hard wiring from here, from the fuse back, goes to the actual hardware. Pretty cool! Do we have any questions? It's very safe. Everything in this van has been done to code, basically. If there is a code for building the inside of a van out, I've followed a lot of the codes that are being told to me. Basically, like the dual pole disconnect is what this box is here. It's a fuse box, basically, where I can turn off. I just turn off the solar panels, both positive and negative, and shut off to the batteries. Excuse me, to the MPPT controller, and to turn them back on, switch it right back up. And right next to it is a switch to turn on and off. That's what these cables here are for, to turn on and off the battery-to-battery charger. using the car battery to actually run the charger. It's a pretty brilliant idea when the car is on. But there are times where you want to run the batteries down, and that's exactly what this is all about. You can turn both of these off, run the car around town, not have to worry about replenishing the batteries again. So yeah, cool stuff. And this here is my MPPT controller interface. It's a data link that goes down to the MPPT controller. I can completely control everything that you would ever want to control on the solar charge controller going to the batteries. Brilliant. This thing is brilliant. Even after the sun sets, I'm still getting a charge, and the solar panels are pointing straight up. I'm not getting a lot of charge, but I'm getting a lot more than I would off of my Xamp solar controller. Brilliant, this thing. Well worth the money you invest. I believe this is about 200 bucks. That's with the interface too, digital interface. And there you have it. That's kind of the 3,000 foot level view of what's going on here. Again, this fuse box down here on the ground. This will be connected to the wall. This is just running my. This can handle like 90 amps, by the way. This is just running my battery. It's also it's my fridge. Excuse me. This is also going to be what's used for any outlets, USB outlets or whatnot for 12 volt. Will come directly into here. If you notice, I didn't plug my fridge in with the cigarette lighter. I cut that off. It's really inefficient. If you have this kind of fridge, you want to direct connect into your battery as close as possible to increase efficiency. Otherwise, my fridge turns off. Too high of voltage left in the battery, it shuts off because it's not drawing enough. But once I did this, that problem was solved. I learned that on YouTube as well. With the Dometic fridges, that's kind of a problem. That cigarette lighter is super inefficient. Do not use cigarette lighters. I'm gonna have to keep a can of this stuff at all times. This is amazing stuff. And the way it sprays out in a wide pattern, so you don't have to go back and forth a lot. You just and you're done, you know? And at the end, it just says, you know it's out. That's it. That's a wrap, guys. Any questions? Suggestions? Comments? Anything? Custom van conversions. Where there's a will, there's a way conversion. Vintage 379. You could probably teach me a thing or two, man. I've been playing with electronics my whole life. Cars have been my thing for I don't know how long. Gave up on all that. And project management, gave up on that, and decided to do this van thing. What happened to your car? My car is still around. I used it today to go get the mail, actually. Yeah, direct to battery, right? It's the best way to go, and you can get at least another day out of your batteries by hooking up direct. It's pretty awesome. What happened to the car? Nothing happened to my car. My car is a badass machine. Basically, I've gone everywhere that Wonder Hussey's gone on any of our ventures in my car. You don't need a gargantuan 4x4 with gas mileage, robbing tires and wheels, and a lifted suspension because, well, if you look at where Wonder Hussey goes, or me, 99% of it is on the road. And then I spend a little bit of time off-road. Although I spend a lot more time off-road than your standard person, but the roads I'm on, they're well-groomed, dirt roads. You can fit 4 cars on them usually, side by side, going down them. If you have to go around a puddle, just go around it, you know, it's not a big deal. Gary! How you doing, Gary? You're a gearhead as well. Awesome. Yeah, I just spent a lot of time on the track and modifying cars, and this is kid's play to me. Really, it is. You missed my install. I just installed this Thinsulate by 3M products onto this wall with using 3M 90 adhesive, spray adhesive. And you know the radiant heat coming from this wall, I can feel it coming from this wall far away. But this wall, yeah, it's nice. If I had more adhesive, I wouldn't be stopping right now. I would just crank through it. It took me 6 hours to do the sealing in this vehicle. And that's because I went into the ribbing. These ribs up here, these white ribs, excuse me, how do you do this? You just do this. This ribbing up here has insulation in it. This way? Yeah, there's insulation there. Tuck it back in. The whole, every one of those are insulated. This back beam, insulated up here. The side beams here, insulated. This beam here, insulated. It's all insulated. That's what took the most time, and that's what gave me a lot of the scrapes and scratches you see in my hands. It all came from putting that insulation in these hard to get to spots. It took a long time to do that, but if you get it done, it's nice. I'm telling you, it's a good feeling to have. And the road noise when you're driving down the road in this thing, without the stuff, it was kind of the rumbling sound you have in the back of a cargo van. It's dead quiet now. It's like you're driving around in a limousine. It really is a big difference. With just the ceiling done. I just put this on this wall for the first time. I couldn't imagine what it's going to sound like in here with all the walls and doors insulated. I think a recommendation, if you guys are in the market for buying one of these vans, the real good thing to do is buy a van with the interior panels in it. If you can do that, or find someone who's selling it, pick them up if you don't have them already. And they act great as insulating walls, like this piece here. But they make actually form-fitting Ford interior paneling, and I think they come in the wagon version of these vehicles. They have the cargo van and they have the wagons. The wagons are for people. They have a bunch of chairs in it, seat belts, whatnot. Those come with the interior paneling that I wish I had for this build on the inside. No luck. Couldn't find anyone selling them used out of their van builds, but if you find them, that's key, I think, is to keep those parts. Recycle the parts that come with the car, basically. It will cool down a lot more once these walls and ceiling are sealed up. The insulating properties will really come to work. Right now it's still giving off a little heat, but once this wall is up, it's not going to transfer as much heat past this wall. This vehicle was used, yes. It had 40,000 miles on it. 45, I think. 45 or 46,000 miles. The air conditioning is installed. It's running right now. It's right up there. This big box, that's the air conditioner with insulation around it and tucked underneath it. I went all out on insulating the top of this vehicle. Even though there's solar panels above it, this ceiling still gets really hot. Not so much now. I'm sold on this 3M insulation. It's really worth it. It's expensive. I'm telling you, the whole interior of this car is going to cost about $600 in insulation alone. What year is the van? It's a 2019. Nearly new. Heck, the engine's just now getting done being broken in. So, yeah, it's brand new if you ask me. It still has a new car smell in it. You know, that plasticky kind of new car smell. I looked this thing up and down, and there's nothing wrong with it. Ford Transit, 2019 Ford Transit 250. It's not a 4x4, no. No bueno. Unless you're just a weekend warrior, 4x4 might be for you. If you're driving this thing all the time, you don't want to be hauling around all your 4x4 equipment attached to your vehicle. It's gas robbing. Ask Sarah. But it's a great car for adventuring, yes. 4x4ing? Yeah. I've never been in a spot where I've needed 4x4 yet. All-wheel drive, yes, but not 4x4. We're on auto. Went to boost. Okay, Vintage, I'll catch you later. I soon will be in Canada, I hope. Someday. Thanks for the thumbs up, everyone. I guess I'll leave this up if you guys want to watch it in the future, but... And thanks for the recommendation on emergency communications. That's something I had not thought about. It's a knockoff of NASA's spacesuit material. Interesting. It's pretty impressive stuff. I like it. Battery monitor, excuse me. Battery monitor from Victron Energy. That's what that shunt is all about on the wall. It's what I use in my X5. It's great. It's awesome. It's also Bluetooth enabled, so you can check it from the front seat or anywhere around the car within range. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate the thumbs up, everyone. If you don't mind. Or if you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. I do need that kind of feedback on these videos. Live streams? I probably should have done a video. Is it all-wheel drive? No, this is a rear-wheel drive only vehicle. My X5 is all-wheel drive. I've only had to really rely on all-wheel drive once in 3 years, so... Why put it in a van? You should never put your van in a spot where you're going to be bouncing around like a 4x4, if you ask me. Get you later, buddy. Vintage. Get you later. I gotta get some lunch. I haven't eaten yet. How am I even talking right now? I haven't eaten breakfast. I haven't done anything except wake up, release a video, get online, do some live streams, check the mail, and come here and do this install. I need to get some food. This white is the insulation. That's not metal showing through. That's insulation showing. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off. It's been another hour, but I really do appreciate you guys checking in. We have all-wheel drive with traction lock. Oh, yeah. Do you drive it every day, Gary? Like, that's your sole vehicle? What kind of adventure car the van do? Let me talk about this later. Okay, this vehicle is going to be going to dispersed campsites on BLM land. It's going to be going to national parks and camping sites around the parks that are free. Basically looking at free boondocking kind of locations. Pretty much what I've been doing. That's why I'm recommending everything that this van has, is because they don't have, Debbie doesn't have any plans on doing heavy off-roading, so dirt trail maybe, that's it. Any passenger car can get down. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thumbs up or down, I don't care, but if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. I'm moving on. I gotta get some food before I pass out, and Any donations to the channel, you can find that information down below. PayPal is preferred way. I also have Patreon. You can do Super Chat as well. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. More to come on this soon. Eminence from X5 and Larry Word out. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yeah. Tomorrow, next day, maybe 2 days, 3 days from now, I'll be on. But Taco Tuesday. Damn, Gary. Yeah, I'm sure I gotta go talk